In honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, a Del Mar professor shared some images of her own artwork. Professor of Art Amaret Garza shared some of her artwork as part of Something About a Piñata Day. She says she uses her art to find a connection to her cultural heritage and reflect on her upbringing here in South Texas. Her art and other local artists have even become part of Cheech Marine's collection.
He does collect some from artists here locally. Ricardo Rees and Joe Pena are other artists that he has found. He has a connection with the art museum.
And she says that Cheech had been looking for more female representation of part of his collection. He visited back in January, saw her artwork, and decided to include her.